How you doing, YouTube? Matt with Massive Beer Reviews back with yet another review, and Russian Imperial Stout time. A Netherlands-based Russian Imperial Stout, to be exact, in the form of the Molen's Hemel Aarde. I guess that's how you'd say it. I'm going to say it that way, so there you go. Hemel Aarde, brewed and bottled by Bodegraven, the Netherlands. Bottled in, sorry. And we're doing the whole label thing. Let's see, 108 IBU, or English bitter units instead of international, sorry. Handcrafted, unfiltered, and pasteurized. Enjoy within 25 years. Keep cool and dark. Recommended drinking temperature, 10 degrees Celsius. Let's see, ingredients, water, Munich, Kara, brown, and peated barley malt. So it's a kind of like a peat malt, smoked Russian Imperial, I guess. And Sladek, late hopping yeast, top fermenting. 10% alcohol. Let's see. And on the back, just government warning stuff, import stuff, and a date. We're talking about January 3rd, March of 2012. And this is almost 2 weeks away from, not even 2 weeks away, a week away from 2014. So we're just a shy hair under 3 years. So that doesn't suck. You know? Pretty badass. 10% alcohol by volume. I've had one Russian Imperial Stout from Molen before. It was a cease and desist. And I liked it quite a bit, so I'm super excited to give this a whirl. The peat smoked part of it is kind of like a hit or miss thing with me. You know, sometimes it's too much for me personally, so I'm super excited to see what it does with this, because I'm a fan of this brewery. Hopefully it shows and proves. Oh, label-wise. Love it. Love everything there is to do with this label. It is ghetto as ghetto can possibly be. And, yeah, you know, if you ever watch my reviews, I kind of go on and on about labels, just because I'm kind of label guy. And a lot of people think that I'm, like, super into this, like, perfectly designed graphic labeling. Like, ghetto is my favorite label of all time is Wes Veltrin's. You know what I mean? Just a cap. No label whatsoever. That's my favorite. So that's pretty badass. White on black, or black on white. Not much to it. To the point, telling you what, the fact that they date it, and they put a whole lot of info on there, just giving you bare information, not kind of touting themselves and talking about how awesome they are, it's kind of cool. We watch that sucker kind of rise out of there. Make pretty bubbles up top before I give it a pour. Just because I love when beer does that. It's just beautiful, isn't it? So let's see. A little bit lighter than what I expect a Russian Imperial Stout to be. There's a head on it. Just a little bit of a head. Yeah. That is probably the biggest head in the history of mankind. That's what you get for sitting there and letting your beer kind of foam out of there and kind of get a little wonky. So yeah, I don't know how long it's going to take for that to go down. Let's see if we can get it to go down a little bit quicker. It's got a nice coffee head to it. Ridiculously even bubbling kind of going on there, if you can kind of see what's going on. I mean, it's a bit small on the bottom, but it's quite nice, super creamy top. Color-wise, it's pretty dark. When it poured, it didn't look uber dark, but yeah. I'm not even be able to get a nose in this sucker. So, what I'm going to do is just going to dive right in and start drinking it. Drink right through that foam. I'll tell you what, if that foam's any indication, then this is a pretty badass beer. A little boozy, but yeah. Like, decent amount of booziness. I mean, I'm eating through that foam, so it's kind of to be expected. Got a nice little dog hair floating around in there. Get that sucker out of there. Yeah, it's flavor too. You know, it's going to be a bit boozier when you're dealing with just kind of eat through those bubbles, because it's going to trap that air or moisture in there. I mean, if you can see, that is like about as creamy as a beer can possibly get up top there. I mean, that's ridiculous. It's like ice cream going on. You know? almost to the beer. Yeah. It's got a really nice sweetness to it. Way sweeter than the last offering I had from Russian Imperial was. Remember the last Russian Imperial I had from them being like a bit more hop forward. I mean, this is 108 EBUs, but you know, hops is not indicative of, or EBUs or IBUs aren't indicative of hoppiness or hop forwardness or whatever you want to call it. It's a matter of balance. So I've had like one of my favorite Russian Imperial Stouts I've had ever is Destruce's Black Albert, and excuse me, I think that's like in the 120s maybe. And you can't even get a hint of hop from that. So it's a matter of balance. Yeah, so we actually got some beer in the glass now, so let's see what happens when we fight through this head a little bit more. That's a really, really, really good beer. Like, really good. It's not super big, but it's super delicious. It's a dessert beer. Sweetness out the wazoo, but not overly sweet. I like my beers sweet, and this is just about perfect for me. Nice, like a brown sugar sweetness to it. The slightest amount of hop to it, almost to the point where it's just like giving you a bit of bite on the finish, but just the slightest bit whatsoever to let you know it's there. Body wise, it's a little thin for Russian Imperial, but I mean, taste is so good on it, you can kind of let that sucker slide. Nose wise, not a ton in the nose. Just that sweetness there. Not much coffee, which you usually get with your Russian Imperials. There's a nice brown sugar sweetness to it. A little bit of malt. Almost like the slightest hint of like a breadiness to it also. And that's about it. But I mean, the nose isn't super in your face or super complex, but it just tastes fantastic. It's a really nice beer. You know, booze wise, the ever so slightest hint of heat there, but it's very, very minimal. It's almost, it's a good thing that it's there. It's kind of showing you that it has a bit of pop to it. So that's kind of nice, but it's not off-putting in any way whatsoever. Overall, pretty goddamn fantastic beer. It says there's peated barley malts there. You can get a little bit of smokiness, but it's not in your face. And that was what I was talking about earlier, is that some peat smoked malted beers can get a little bit too peaty, and it kind of turns me off. This is like a third or fourth character in the mouth. It's not a leading role or secondary role, so for me, it's absolutely perfect. Excuse me. Yeah, it's just a really pretty damn fantastic beer. I have to say that. One of the better Russian Imperials I've had as of late. Rating-wise, I'd probably give it like a 93. It's just a fantastic beer, you know, all around. The only thing that sucks about it is that goddamn headache came out of there. That's my own fault for letting it sit there and bubble out top and kind of get active. But whatever. You know, I'm still enjoying it, and that's all that matters. Yeah, there's a decent amount of funk in that sucker. I'll let that sit. So yeah, what did I say? 93 overall. Value and availability, it's, you know, I don't see it anywhere, so I'll give it a 2 on an availability scale. Value, I think I was pushing $7.50 for that. To me, honestly, I'm going to give it an 8 on the value scale. A $7.50 for a single bottle is not that good, but the fact that it's that good of a beer, it warrants spending that kind of money. If you're into your classic Russian Imperial Stouts, Courage, if you like I said, Distruce Black Albert, if you like Sierra Nevada Narwhal, if you like those kind of beers, then this is going to be right up your alley. I mean, equal with the Courages and Distruces of the world, and kind of somewhere right above that, Barrel or Narwhal. Not Barrel Aged Narwhal. It's a whole different game. But yeah, really nice beer. Highly recommend it. If you can get some, you should definitely pick some up. So yeah, another review down. Hopefully you guys enjoyed that combobulated, disjointed head of a review. If you did or you didn't, whatever. Leave comments, good or bad. We'd love them. And yeah, if you'd like to check us out anywhere else on the internet, you can. Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. Massive Beers in all three of those places. Way more active on Instagram, so if you're going to check us out anywhere, check us out there. And yeah, another review down. So hopefully you guys enjoyed the review. Hopefully you watched me fumbling with that head. And hopefully you see you next time. Cheers.